Bible in a Year Live Chronological Project, Week 25, Day 1, God's Word. These also are Solomon's Proverbs that were copied by the men of Hezekiah of Judah. Advice for Kings. It is the glory of God to hide things, but the glory of kings to investigate them. Like the high heavens and the deep earth, so the mind of kings is unsearchable. Take the impurities out of silver, and a vessel is ready for the silversmith to mold. Take a wicked person away from the presence of a king, and justice will make his throne secure. Do not brag about yourself in front of a king, or stand in the spot that belongs to notable people, because it is better to be told, "Come up here," than to be put down in front of a prince whom your eyes have seen. Do not be in a hurry to go to court. What will you do in the end if your neighbor disgraces you? Present your argument to your neighbor, and do not reveal another person's secret. Otherwise, when he hears about it, he will humiliate you, and his evil reports about you will never disappear. Like golden apples in silver settings, so is a word spoken at the right time. Like a gold ring and a fine gold ornament, so is constructive criticism to the ear of one who listens. Like the coolness of snow on a harvest day, so is a trustworthy messenger to those who send him. He refreshes his masters. Like a dense fog or a dust storm, so is a person who brags about a gift that he does not give. With patience, you can persuade a ruler, and a soft tongue can break bones. When you find honey, eat only as much as you need. Otherwise, you will have too much and vomit. Do not set foot in your neighbor's house too often. Otherwise, he will see too much of you and hate you. Like a club and a sword and a sharp arrow, so is a person who gives false testimony against his neighbor. Like a broken tooth and a lame foot, so is confidence in an unfaithful person in a time of crisis. Like talking off a coat on a cold day or pouring vinegar on baking soda, so is singing songs to one who has an evil heart. If your enemy is hungry, give him some food to eat, and if he is thirsty, give him some water to drink. In this way, you will make him feel guilty and ashamed, and the Lord will reward you. As the north wind brings rain, so a whispering tongue brings angry looks. Better to live on a corner of a roof than to share a home with a quarreling woman. Like cold water to a thirsty soul, so is good news from afar. Like a muddy spring and a polluted well, so is a righteous person who gives in to a wicked person. Eating too much honey is not good, and searching for honor is not honorable. Like a city broken into and left without a wall, so is a person who lacks self-control. All about fools. Like snow in summertime and rain at harvest time, so honor is not right for a fool. Like a fluttering sparrow, like a darting swallow, so a hastily spoken curse does not come to rest. A whip is for the horse, a bridle is for the donkey, and a rod is for the backs of fools. Do not answer a fool with his own stupidity, or you will be like him. Answer a fool with his own stupidity, or he will think he is wise. Whoever uses a fool to send a message cuts off his own feet and brings violence upon himself. Like a lame person's limp legs, so is a proverb in the mouth of fools. Like tying a stone to a sling, so is giving honor to a fool. Like a thorn stuck in a drunkard's hand, so is a proverb in the mouth of fools. Like many people who destroy everything, so is one who hires fools or drifters. As a dog goes back to its vomit, so a fool repeats his stupidity. Have you met a person who thinks he is wise? There is more hope for a fool than for him. A lazy person says, "There's a ferocious lion out on the road. There's a lion loose in the streets." As a door turns on its hinges, so the lazy person turns on his bed. A lazy person puts his fork in his food. He wears himself out as he brings it to his mouth. A lazy person thinks he is wiser than 7 people who give a sensible answer. Like grabbing a dog by the ears, so is a bystander who gets involved in someone else's quarrel. Like a madman who shoots flaming arrows and death, so is a person who tricks his neighbor and says, "I was only joking." Without wood, a fire goes out, and without gossip, a quarrel dies down. As charcoal fuels burning coals, and wood fuels fire, so a quarrelsome person fuels a dispute. The words of a gossip are swallowed greedily, and they go down into a person's innermost being. Like a clay pot covered with cheap silver, so is smooth talk that covers up an evil heart. Whoever is filled with hate disguises it with his speech, but inside he holds on to deceit. When he talks charmingly, do not trust him because of the 7 disgusting things in his heart. His hatred is deceitfully hidden, and his wickedness will be revealed in the community. Whoever digs a pit will fall into it. Whoever rolls a stone will have it rolled back on him. A lying tongue hates its victims, and a flattering mouth causes ruin. All about life. Do not brag about tomorrow, because you do not know what another day may bring. Praise should come from another person, and not from your own mouth, from a stranger, and not from your own lips. A stone is heavy, and sand weighs a lot, but annoyance caused by a stubborn fool is heavier than both. Anger is cruel, and fury is overwhelming, but who can survive jealousy? Open criticism is better than unexpressed love. Wounds made by a friend are intended to help, but an enemy's kiss are too much to bear. One who is full despises honey, and to one who is hungry, even bitter food tastes sweet. Like a bird wandering from its nest, so is a husband wandering from his home. Perfume and incense make the heart glad, and the sweetness of a friend is a fragrant forest. Do not abandon your friend or your father's friend. Do not go to a relative's home when you are in trouble. A neighbor living nearby is better than a relative far away. Be wise, my son, and make my heart glad, so that I can answer anyone who criticizes me. Sensible people foresee trouble and hide. Gullible people go ahead and suffer. Hold on to the garment of one who guarantees a stranger's loan, and hold responsible the person who makes a loan in behalf of a foreigner. Whoever blesses his friend early in the morning with a loud voice, his blessing is considered a curse. Constantly dripping water on a rainy day is like a quarreling woman. Whoever can control her can control the wind. He can even pick up olive oil with his right hand. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens the weight of another. Whoever takes care of a fig tree can eat its fruits, and whoever protects his master is honored. As a face is reflected in water, so a person is reflected by his heart. Hell and decay are never satisfied. A person's eyes are never satisfied. The crucible is for refining silver, and the smelter for gold, but a person is tested by the praise given to him. If you crush a stubborn fool in a mortar with a pestle along with grain, even then his stupidity will not leave him. Be fully aware of the condition of your flock, and pay close attention to your herds. Wealth is not forever, nor does a crown last from one generation to the next. When grass is cut short, the tender growth appears, and vegetables are gathered on the hills. Lambs will provide you with clothing, and the money from the male goats will buy a field. There will be enough goat milk to feed you, to feed your family, and to keep your servant girls alive. A wicked person flees when no one is chasing him, but righteous people are as bold as lions. When a country is in revolt, it has many rulers, but only with one person who has understanding and knowledge will it last a long time. A poor person who oppresses poorer people is like a driving rain that leaves no food. Those who abandon God's teachings praise wicked people, but those who follow God's teachings oppress wicked people. Evil people do not understand justice, but those who seek the Lord understand everything. Better to be a poor person who has integrity than to be rich and double-dealing. Whoever follows God's teachings is a wise son. Whoever associates with gluttons disgraces his father. Whoever becomes wealthy through unfair loans and interests collects them for the one who is kind to the poor. Surely the prayer of someone who refuses to listen to God's teaching is disgusting. Whoever leads decent people in evil will fall into his own pit, but innocent people will inherit good things. A rich person is wise in his own eyes, but a poor person with understanding sees right through him. When righteous people triumph, there is great glory, but when wicked people rise, people hide themselves. Whoever covers over his sins does not prosper. Whoever confesses and abandons them receives compassion. Blessed is the one who is always fearful of sin, but whoever is hard-hearted falls into disaster. Like a roaring lion and a charging bear, so a wicked ruler is a threat to poor people. A leader without understanding taxes his people heavily, but those who hate unjust gain will live longer. A person burdened with the guilt of murder will be a fugitive down to his grave. No one will help him. Whoever lives honestly will be safe. Whoever lives dishonestly will fall all at once. Whoever works his land will have plenty to eat. Whoever chases unrealistic dreams will have plenty of nothing. A trustworthy person has many blessings, but anyone in a hurry to get rich will not escape punishment. Showing partiality is not good, because some people will turn on you even for a piece of bread. A stingy person is in a hurry to get rich, not realizing that poverty is about to overtake him. Whoever criticizes people will be more highly regarded in the future than the one who flatters with his tongue. The one who robs his father or his mother and says, "It isn't wrong," is a companion to a vandal. A greedy person stirs up a fight, and whoever trusts the Lord prospers. Whoever trusts his own heart is a fool. Whoever walks in wisdom will survive. Whoever gives to the poor lacks nothing. Whoever ignores the poor receives many curses. When wicked people rise, people hide. When they die, righteous people increase. A person who will not bend after many warnings will suddenly be broken beyond repair. When righteous people increase, the people of God rejoice. But when a wicked person rules, everybody groans. A person who loves wisdom makes his father happy, but one who pays prostitutes wastes his wealth. By means of justice, a king builds up a country, but a person who confiscates religious contributions tears it down. A person who flatters his neighbor is spreading a net for him to step into. To an evil person, sin is bait in a trap, but a righteous person runs away from it and is glad. A righteous person knows the just cause of the poor. A wicked person does not understand this. Mockers create an uproar in a city, but wise people turn away anger. When a wise person goes to court with a stubborn fool, he will rant and rave, but there is no peace and quiet. Bloodthirsty people hate an innocent person, but decent people seek to protect his life. A fool expresses all his emotions, but a wise person controls them. If a ruler pays attention to lies, all his servants become wicked. A poor person and an oppressor have this in common: the Lord gives both of them sight. When a king judges the poor with honesty, his throne will always be secure. A spanking and a warning produce wisdom, but an undisciplined child disgraces his mother. When wicked people increase, crime increases, but righteous people will witness their downfall. Correct your son, and he will give you peace of mind. He will bring delight to your soul. Without prophetic vision, people will run wild, but blessed are those who follow God's teachings. A slave cannot be disciplined with words. He will not respond, though he may understand. Have you met a person who is quick to answer? There is more hope for a fool than for him. Pamper a slave from childhood, and later he will be ungrateful. An angry person stirs up a fight, and a hot head does much wrong. A person's pride will humiliate him, but a humble spirit gains honor. Whoever is a thief's partner hates his own life. He will not testify under oath. A person's fear sets a trap for him, but one who trusts the Lord is safe. Many seek an audience with a ruler, but justice for humanity comes from the Lord. An unjust person is disgusting to righteous people. A decent person is disgusting to wicked people.